I attempted a Pokemon Uranium Nuzlocke and it was harsh. Stop. From surviving several nuclear meltdowns to exploring literal nuclear wastelands, a toddler as your rival, and Onion Man? So without further ado, let's jump right into our adventure to the Tandor region. After naming myself Big Crystal because I am small, we are shown a flashback of 10 years ago where our mother Lucille is working at the nuclear power plant. It's a fairly ordinary day, but suddenly something goes terribly wrong. There is a breach in the reactor which can cause a total nuclear meltdown in just a few seconds. Everybody evacuates the plant immediately, but our mother Lucille goes deeper into the plant and boom. That's the last time we saw our mother. Devastated by our mother's death, our father Kellen becomes so focused on being a ranger that he abandons his child and sends us to live in Moki Town with his aunt. 10 years have passed since the accident at the nuclear power plant and we are now 13 years old. You know what that means? Pokemon time, everybody. On our way to the lab, we bump into our rival slash best friend, Theo. And I have to say, he is tiny. The professor runs a trainer aptitude test. We pick all the red options and this gives us the fire and ground type Raptorch. I named him Jesse because I really wanted to say, Jesse, we need to catch him up. Theo receives the grass and steel type Orchix. We burn his cats with a few embers and then proceed to catch a Burby at our encounter. So now the Nuzlocke has officially begun. The sound this makes kinda reminds me of the yellow bird, so I named it accordingly. We reach the Burole Town and there's practically nothing to do here, so we steal their berries. Our passage cave encounter is a Grozard, which looks interesting. Moments later, this happened. Are you shitting me right now? He had a rather short life, don't you think? Anyways, we reach the Nowtoch City where we proceed to challenge the gym leader here, Maria. Outside the gym, we found this random guy who gives us the key to Maria's house. I made copies? Oh my god. Maria takes care of the situation afterwards and we get our first badge, the normal badge. On our way to Bambo's lab so we can get Rock Smash, we are blocked by Theo, so we have to defeat him once more. Bambo gives us Rock Smash which we use to get to Route 3, and our encounter here is a cat. I named it after my Stardew Valley cat. We make our way to Burole Town and hey, is that Daisy? We proceed to challenge the rock-type gym leader Davern and absolutely dumpster his entire team with our mons. He has a Grozard, Mordrill, and Daryl, and the signature Pokemon is a Tofurang, and that's the bright gem badge acquired. On the next route, we fought some trainers where this guy had a Gerbolta, which to be honest looks like Sonic and Sanchu had a child.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my god, Nuzlocke are just the worst. We gotta move on though, cause that's how life is. I wanna cry. I caught a Pahar on the way to the next gym. Icarus it is. We reach the Comet Cave where we team up with our rival Theo. Just as we reach the exit, this happened. Did you just ditch us? Theo be like, yo, something's bad gonna happen? I'ma leave, bye. Oh crap, what the hell is that? Terralord? Get in the ball, Terralord. I don't care if you're a Terralord, get in the ball. I'ma name you Gwanda. Our Route 5 encounter was a Kostraw Cupcake it is. We reach Rochfale Town where Professor Bamboo introduces us to Professor Cypress in the town's local lab. And literally, Cypress is like, yo, are you 13 years old? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, okay, go catch a thief. Professor Cypress explains that last night somebody broke into her lab and stole all her Pokemon, but the weird part is that they did not steal the PSD. It is short for the Pokemon Speech Translator. Yep. You got that right. We can now understand what Pokemon are saying. We steal some berries and then start our search for the thief. We came across several clues which led us to this cave where we found this thing. A literal garlic man who happens to be Hero Garlic Kid. At this point I was so confused. Is that a Pokemon or a human dressed as a Pokemon? If it's a Pokemon, why is it using other Pokemon to battle? We defeat Garlic in a battle and he swears to return and take revenge from us. Well, that was eventful. To forget about what just happened, we decided to do some training. This resulted in Kraken evolving into Felungi. I don't know how to say that. On our way to Bealbeach City, I caught a Casnail and named it Larry. Okay, just for context, let me explain that Bealbeach used to be our home 10 years ago. But after our mother's death, our father just forgot about us. Now that I'm in Bealbeach, I might get a chance to see my father. But first, we're gonna gamble. Frick you, Dad. You have to wait a bit. It's time to meet our father. Big Crystal, what are you doing here in Bealbeach? I see you have Pokeballs and a Pokedex. Are you for real, Dad? That is what you're gonna say to someone you just met after 10 long years? And just out of nowhere, he asks us for a favor to deliver a letter to Cameron, Theo's dad. On our way though, we had some close calls, I would say. Doesn't matter, we survived. We head to the construction site of the new nuclear power plant being constructed after 10 years since the last one blew up. We delivered the letter to Cameron, and Cameron says that our dad wants us to take a look at the old power plant, for closure purposes. Also, just for context, there are a total of 3 nuclear power plants in Tandor: Zeta, Epsilon, and Omicron, Epsilon being the one that blew up 10 years back. We did our encounter here, and holy shit, what the frick is that? Turns out every Pokemon here is irradiated. Due to exposure to radiation, Pokemon became contaminated, which resulted in a new typing, the nuclear type. Also, these Pokemon don't actually obey their trainers that much. After settling things with Jeopardy, we take a short trip to the old power plant. Inside, we discover some burnt pages which indicate some experiment, but it's hard to read. We then reach the last room, which is a dead end, but surprisingly, this place has a working computer, stasis tank active, suspension timer, some random numbers, execute restoration process. Yes, I guess, I don't know. Error, instability detected. Error. We are then thrown in the basement and then attacked by a huge nuclear Pokemon. Holy moly, that looks sick. As we settle things with it, we pass out due to high levels of radiation. We regain consciousness in the hospital. Turns out Cameron saves us. We then explain everything we saw inside to Cameron. Fast forward to a couple of hours where I trained and evolved Jeopardy into Ashton. It was time to take on the water-type gym leader Callie. I basically sweep her entire team and that earns us the Tide Badge, and the best part is, we didn't die. Our work here was done, so we leave Bealbeach, but then this happened. There has been another nuclear meltdown at Power Plant Epsilon, and the worst part is that Cameron, Theo's father, is still there. Our father gives us a ferry ticket and asks us to leave immediately. We make our way to the ferry, taking on some nuclear beasts and helping the rangers. Why does everybody keep ditching me in this game? Yo, get in the ball. I'ma name you Damien. We board the cruise and fight some trainers, and we lost Pahar to yet another crit. I hate boats. I hate them. We get our wheat fields encounter, which is a mischievous, steal some berries, and then head to Vinoville Town. Before taking on the steel-type gym here, I evolved Jessie into Achilles and Larry into Seble. After solving this goddamn annoying puzzle, we take on Sheldon. We burn his S51 and Garrel using Jessie. Gwanda takes out Cometeor, and his signature Tracton is burnt by Jessie. And this is Pixel Badge acquired. Outside the gym, our ranger informs us that a guy named Terry is waiting for us. Wait, who's Terry? Is this like a second rival or some evil dude? As we're having a talk with Theo about his father, we hear another explosion, and clouds of radiation just spread everywhere. A ranger informs us that there has been another nuclear meltdown, this time at the nuclear power plant Zeta. We fly to safety on his Staraptor, and on our way we see clouds of smoke just emerging at a distance. What the hell is causing these meltdowns? Stay tuned, as we might find out. We are then brought to the Legen Town safe house. The rangers then ask me to help them in clearing Route 11 from rampaging irradiated Pokemon. We head on to Route 11 and catch a Tanskure who we named Dog. We then team up with our dad to take on hordes of nuclear Pokemon. Just some father-daughter fun. We clear the route and our father says, fighting alongside you, it makes me wish I'd gotten to know you better. Thanks, Dad. We advanced towards our next stop, the Bakel Forest. And boy, was this place a nightmare. You can hear somebody laugh continuously in the background. It's so unsettling to be here. We catch a Chikorita and then reach Amatree Town, where we learned that the Fire-type gym leader Chico is missing for a few days. He was last heard from when he was training in Ant Hill. Let me ask this, why the frick is this guy training in Ant freaking Hell? So we head down into Ant Hill to look for Chico, and it was fun here. First I lost Jeopardy to a water gun. What is wrong with me? We then use the bug spray to clear the entrance to Anthill. We then proceed to jump through several holes, catch a Herelect who I named P, fight possessed trainers. I live to serve the Great Mother. And finally we found Tico. Holy moly! What's up, Bugsteak? I free Tico, but just as we are about to make an escape, the Great Mother awakes. The Psychomator, the Bug's Queen. She only wakes up once every few years, but when she does, she's always hungry. And angry. We tried to stuff her in the Pokeball, but you can't catch it. I'm kinda disappointed, to be honest. Moving on, we say goodbye to this amazing place and then make our way to Amatree so we can challenge Tico. Even though we just saved him from killer bugs, but we still have to defeat him in a battle for the badge. Come on. He's a fire-type trainer, so I just kept throwing water at his mons with Sebele. Outside Amatree, we once again punch a defeat at Tio's face. With the gem surf in our pocket, we decide now is the time to head towards East Tandor. But on our way, we encounter Hia, the surfing ninjas, who are kinda mad at us for surfing up their turf. I don't know. We defeat them in a battle and they called their boss Hokage. His signature Daikatuna was a bit of a problem, but we ended up thunderbolting his entire team, and in disbelief and anger, their boss hands over his title of Hokage to us. Frick off, Naruto. I am the Hokage now. I caught a Titanize as our encounter here, Jack, and finally made it to Venesi City. There's a lot that went on here, okay? First we caught Remy, get in the ball, rat. Yo, this statue looks so creepy. Wait, don't tell me that's a Pokemon. They spend most of their time standing so still that they are often mistaken for statues. They perch on rooftops of Venesi, guarding it from the outside. Yo, this is such a cool concept. Stone. We also got a free Eevee from this woman. Thank you, I guess. And lastly, we got high. Afterwards, I challenged the gym leader, who isn't really the gym leader, but is pretending to be the gym leader. He pushes us down into the basement, and that's the real gym leader. I said a lot of gym leader. Give me water. Rosalind has some pretty interesting Pokemon. First up, Jessie burned her Masking and Reno Tiger. Oh my gosh, stop. Okay, he's such a Chad for surviving that. Radio Acid, get out of here. She also had a duplicate, which is basically the ditto of Tandor. And lastly, Jessie burnt her signature Dram Sama. After securing our 6th badge, the Drama badge, we make our way to the Labyrinth, where we caught a Linkite, which is basically a Pokemon that died inside its Pokeball. They forgot their previous identity, so they took the form of a substitute decoy. Pure nightmare fuel. We keep on surfing and reach Silverport Town. Similar to Rochfale, Silverport also has a local lab, but it's different from Cypress's lab. The head scientist here is Professor Larkspur, and the moment I saw him, I was like, evil. Just look at him. Using the PSD, we learned from an Odin that some serious and illegal experiments are conducted on Pokemon here. Larkspur notices the PSD in our hand and tries to buy it from us. 100,000 and rare Pokemon? Okay, I can consider that. We of course refused, so he kicks us out. Very interesting indeed. As we're trying to forget about what just happened inside, this happened. Is that Team Rocket going somewhere? We ain't gonna let you posh till the boss gets what he wants. Okay. Yes, these people snatched our Pokemon, drugged us, and kidnapped us. As we regain consciousness, we see none other than Larkspur standing in front of us. His plan is to reverse engineer the PST so he can mass produce it and sell it to other companies to clear the debt on his company. I was finally able to use this after 30 hours into the game. Glad they kidnapped me. Such a relief. And now it's time to escape. Yo, is that Garlic Kid? Let's go. We liberate the Pokemon Liberator Garlic Kid, and we also get our hands on some reports and archives which give us a little hint of what really happened that fateful day. There used to be a hidden lab in the nuclear power plant Epsilon. This lab was highly confidential. Nobody knew about it except a few people, including Professor Larkspur and Dr. XXXX, which I think is our dead mother. They were working on an illegal project which was basically a man-made Pokemon made out of nuclear waste, codenamed the Project 092. Everything was going well, but someone among them leaked this information to the Interpol. Dr. Larkspur then considered Dr. XXX to be a liability, so he set off a detonation at the plant so he can remove all evidences about the existence of that project. Pretty interesting lore, I would say. I had fun reading these. Garlic Kid uses his garlic powers to pry the bars of our cells so we can make an escape. We find our Pokedex bag and Pokeballs. We take on Professor Larkspur and his signature is a Chanite, the evolution of Linkite. So now the soul of the dead Pokemon is coming out. Yikes. As we slam a defeat in Larkspur's face, he decides to flee the region as the Rangers will come after him. By now, we use the PSD on Garlic Kid and seems like he trusts us now. Garlic Kid decides to join our party and we name him Garliman. He's now man. Allegations of misconduct by order of the Tandor Rangers. Well, that's that. I made some adjustments to the team because we are about to enter some serious weather conditions. We did our encounter and it is a Puffluff. Okay, I take it. After messing up on ice puzzles for a bazillion times, we finally made it to Snowbank Town. And we wasted no time to go after the gym here. There are 3 fun things about this gym. The first one is that you need a partner in order to challenge the gym leader. So it's basically a double battle. Funny enough, we stumble upon Theo just outside the gym. So now we have a partner. Also, he is now bigger in size, so no more small Theo jokes, I guess. The second interesting thing about this gym is that you have to complete 5 trials before taking on the Ice-type trainer Varen. These being Strength, Wisdom, Adaptability, Fates, and Truths. And the third fun thing about this gym is that when you defeat this guy, you will get access to Mega Evolution. How cool is that? I didn't know this game had Megas. We ace through all these trials and finally take on Varen. Varen starts off with a Dunsaraf and Glavinug. Theo's Nucleon takes out both of them, and basically Varen's entire team is taken out by Theo, cause I am a hell of underleveled for this matchup, not gonna lie. Damien barely survived a Dragon Tail, he's such a Chad. And finally, Stone takes out his Fafnir, and that's the Apex badge acquired. Cherry on top, Sableye evolves into Escartris. We then take on our rival Theo and throw yet another defeat at his face with Mega Jessie. Next on our agenda is the Tsukinami Village, a sacred village hidden from the outsiders, but not from us, cause we are Hokage, remember? We decide to take a cruise to Tsukinami, but our ferry driver acts a little piratey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's a pirate. After catching a Labyrinth in the depths of the sea, we are again interrupted by the pirates. After I defeated them, the ninjas used Cut on them. It's fine. We arrived in Tsukinami Village and started exploring it. Inside, we found some pretty cool stuff. There was a museum here where we learned about some legendaries of Tandor, Leviatau, Betatau, and Krakenau. Oh hey Professor Elm from Earth 69. We then take on the gym which has 2 leaders, Hinata and Hinata and Kaito. Why am I having this feeling that this is the end of the Nuzlocke? No. Happy thoughts, Big Crystal. Happy thoughts. I decided to take on Kaito first. We sweep through his entire team and his signature is a Mega Arbok, which looks so amazing. It makes me want to catch an Arbok for myself. We take on Hinata next and she had a light-based team, so Jessie was able to flamethrower them all. Her signature was a Mega Whimsicott. Definitely didn't expect this thing to have a Mega Evolution. Anywho, we get our final badge, the Zen badge, and exit the gym, so we can take on the Tandor Championship. But outside, the Rangers interrupt us. They inform us that they have received a tip from an anonymous person that the last stable power plant, Omicron, is at risk. Everybody evacuates the Tsukinami Village and we head to the entrance of Omicron to help our father and Theo. After subduing loads and loads of nuclear Pokemon, we reach the entrance of the power plant, and suddenly, the nuclear Pokemon just stop attacking for some reason. What was that? Something is about to happen, guys. I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. Oh. 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 Bad guys. I can't explain in words how sick this is. Amongst the smoke emerges two figures. Satan? Question mark. We are Curie, we are Urane. Stand aside or face oblivion. Our father tries to oppose them, but Curie orders Urane to atomic punch our dad. Is it legal to use attacks on humans? As Urane is about to atomic punch our dad to nuclear waste, it is interrupted by Cameron. Let's go, he is alive. Turns out Cameron was the one who alerted the Rangers about the attack on this power plant. He also removed uranium from here so Curie won't be able to steal it. Theo was delighted to see his father alive and jumps in to save his dad, but Cameron takes the attack for himself and is very badly injured. Curie escapes the scene with a quantum leap. We rush to the hospital to provide medical aid to Cameron, our dad, and a ranger. Due to exposure to high levels of radiation, Cameron goes into a temporary coma. Our father also has some radioactive air in his lungs, so he needs to rest as well. Our dad also reads a letter he found in Cameron's jacket when he was admitted to the hospital. In this letter, Cameron reveals his real name is Cameron Stonebringer, and he is in fact an undercover agent of the Interpol. Cameron has been doing research on Curie and Urane since his presumed death on the power plant Epsilon. He describes the mask worn by one of the figures as the Curie interface, a high-tech device made for mental relay and to give commands to the man-made Pokemon Uranium. Built as a source of unlimited energy, at its full potential, it has the power to split atoms. Yikes. Although, to reach this full potential, they need a lot of nuclear fuel. So those meltdowns which were happening across Tandor were a result of these two figures. Cameron also informs us that their hiding spot is nuclear power plant Zeta because it is in the hazard zone and no humans go there, so it's easy for them to hide at Zeta. And that's the end of the letter. Due to his poor health condition, our father hands over the mission to defeat Curie to me and Theo. So we give our dad a hug, equip the newly made hazard suit, and set foot in the hazard zone. Due to radiation contamination, everything here is destroyed. Just look at the trees, the wheat field. We steal some berries and stumble across Hazma, a Pokemon that eats radiation. After catching it and naming it appropriately, we finally reach the entrance of Power Plant Zeta. As we are about to enter, somebody just knocks off our signal and we lose contact to the Ranger HQ. And then suddenly, Urane appears and knocks us out. As we regain consciousness, we find ourselves deep inside the power plant Zeta, with absolutely no clue where Theo is. Our hazard suit is very much low on battery, so we need a power cell. If the battery runs out, we're just gonna die. Yay! First up, I booted up the spirit generator, so light is back on. I healed my Pokemon, and after navigating through the area for a while, I finally found a power cell. With the hazard suit's battery being at medium, the geolocator starts working and it shows Curie's location in the northern sector. I think it's time. We keep it together and step inside the north sector. With only 5 minutes of radiation shielding left on our suit, we run around aimlessly and finally we found them. Did they kill him? Your friend, he's in stasis, neither awake nor asleep, his thoughts trapped at the very moment he entered the capsule. What could he be feeling? Pain, fear, confusion, anguish? Okay, I should stop. We take on Curie and first up they send out a Nucleon. Jessie is able to knock it out easily. Next up is Xeno Queen, which is an easy one shot to overheat. Damien Ice Fangs their Arbok. Garliman is able to connect 2 drain punches and this takes out Mega Barriette. Lastly, Damien survives 2 atomic punches, drinks a hyper potion and connects a hydro pump and that's Curie down. What? No. Urane uses up all its energy during the battle and it resorts to its alpha form, but it still has some energy left in it so they are able to quantum leap and escape. We save Theo but he's not in a good shape. Look at him. And that's that. We have defeated Curie. So, Big Crystal and Theo returned to the Ranger HQ. When they arrived, they were greeted as heroes, and word spread throughout Tandor about Big Crystal's victory over Curie. Yay! We pay a visit to Cameron at the hospital as he's awake now, and our father says that now it's up to the Rangers to locate and capture Curie and Urain. He also says, "I am proud of you," and tells us that we should participate in the Tandor Championship on Mount Actinite. So we do just that. But first, I wanted to do some preparations. Precisely two things: completing the Tsukinami side quest and to obtain the nuclear evolution. First was the Tsukinami side quest, where the Grandmaster Yoshitaka wants us to travel across the region and call his 6 grandchildren back at home. So we do just that. As a reward, he gives us a wool chick. Yep, it's a legendary bird. Its final evolution is Yatagaryu, the same one that Cameron had. We also unlock a dojo, which was the reason I did this quest in the first place. Here you are able to do unlimited training with his grandchildren. Next, I evolved Peanut the Eevee into a Nucleon. It's pretty easy to do. You just need a nuclear Pokemon in your party and you gotta train it. That's it. Afterwards, I did training for 3 to 4 hours straight, made some replacements to the team, and now it's time for the championship. Our first 2 opponents were Angelica and Sir Goldcorn. Since they were pretty easy to beat, let's skip the fight to our third opponent, which was a rematch against Ice Grandpa Varen. He started out with a Dunsaraf, and I took it out with 2 flamethrowers. His Andorant, Alpico, and Frostra were also a one-shot to flamethrower because of super effectiveness. Garliman was able to take out his Fafnir, and his ace was Mega Ampharos. Garliman almost died because of my stupidity, but he didn't. Luck is on our side, guys. I switched up into Drop Point and Sludge Bomb was able to do the thing. And that's Varen down. Our final opponent before the champion match was Rosalind. Venesi City rematch, guys. She started out with Aromatisse. Larry was able to surf the hell out of it. And then Mega Jessie proceeded to take out Vinotiger, Miasmatic, and Mega Dramsama. Easy. With our easy victory in 4 matchups, it was time to face the final opponent, who is none other than Theo. Just as we're about to start our battle, the legendary Pokemon Acton intervenes, but something is not right with Acton. It has become irradiated for some reason. We equip our hazard suit and try to calm it down. Varen tries to communicate with the legendary, and Acton explains that some other Pokemon invaded its cave and tried to absorb energy from the rich metals found there. I guess you all know where this is heading, guys.
You weak, pathetic fools. A weakling such as yourself could not begin to understand this hunger, this eternal agony we have suffered. There is but one way to end it. Ultimate powered, utter annihilation. This is what we crave, the total obliteration of all that stand in our way.
With a massive increase in radiation levels, the only person that can survive here is us, the 13-year-old Big Crystal in a hazard suit. Everyone is forced to leave and our father finally loves us. Yippee!
Yes. Behold, Gamma Urain. This is it. This is the end. Now I am become death.
Yo, it's such a coincidence that Oppenheimer just came out recently. Chernobyl? You're going to Chernobyl on me? Oh my god. We started with Acton, who dies instantly to an overheat. Doesn't matter, I guess, because it's not ours. It's okay. I sent out Narcos, who was able to connect a Toxic. I know this is a very shit strategy, but yeah, I plan on spamming Hyper Potions until it dies to poison. Yeah, after a painful 15 minutes, I was finally able to bring Urain to a low HP. And we only need 1 more poison damage. But then, this happened. Stop. I said stop. We lost our starter in the final battle. I don't know why, but I'm not sad. Sorry, Jessie, but I'm not sad because the game is literally over, so it's okay. Jessie died a hero, okay? No! Impossible! After losing, Urain resorts back to its alpha form and Curie interface breaks open, revealing the operator.
How can it be you? Lucille? Lucille is alive? Lucille is Curie?
We start to recount the story by placing the pieces of the puzzle together that due to the influence of the Curie interface, our mother lost her mind. She lost her memory due to isolation and long-term use of the Curie interface. She was able to survive the meltdown inside the stasis tank. She was alive all these years, stuck inside a stasis tank. Uranium also recounts the story of its past. It was made in a place dark underground. The scientist used to run tests every day, and the head scientist of this project was Lucille, our mother. Using the Curie interface, she had multiple conversations with Urane, because of which both of them became friends. She also gave the Project 092 a specific name, which was Urane. Although Urane was a man-made Pokemon, it somehow developed emotions and feelings for Lucille. When the call to shut down the project was issued by Larkspur, Lucille disapproved and denied the orders of Larkspur because she wanted to save Urane at all costs. She said Urane deserved to live. On the day of the reactor meltdown, our mom interfaced Urane and informed it about the detonation. With no other option left, she jumped into Urane's stasis tank and stayed there for 10 years until her own daughter freed her that day. Remember those random numbers? The suspension timer? She was in stasis for 10 years, 3 months, 1 day, 16 hours, 24 minutes, and 60 seconds. Oh my god. This pretty much explains that whatever she was doing, she was not in her senses. God, such an amazing story. Urane decides that it wants to join our party. Okay, I take it. I do prefer Gamma Urane though. Okay, back to the final battle between Theo and me. Theo decides that he wants to forfeit the final matchup because Big Crystal more than deserves to be the champion. And that's that, guys. We have completed our Pokemon Uranium Nuzlocke with only a handful of casualties. Am I right? I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which death hurt you the most. Mine was definitely Puritat. I wanted to evolve that guy. Anywho, subscribe or I will steal your nuclear fuel. Just kidding, I'll Chernobyl on you.